Hey everyone, BrickLover18 here today, back with another episode of Ask Brick. It feels like it has been such a long time since I last filmed an episode, so I'm so excited to get back into things and answer some of your questions. I've gotten so many over the last few weeks, so this is honestly the perfect time to be doing an Ask Brick episode, so let's just get right into it. I should also say, for those of you who don't know, Ask Brick is my Q&A show here on YouTube where you, the viewers, ask me questions about, Lego, my life, anything really at all, and I answer them here on video. Like I said, today I've got lots of great questions for you all today, and the first one is from Elk. Do you have a preferred Lego store in Toronto, or are all three pretty much the same? So Elk obviously must be from Toronto, and they're referring to the three different Lego stores we have here: Sherway Gardens, Fairview Mall, and Yorkdale. So like I told Elk in a comment earlier, I'm a little biased because I actually used to work at Yorkdale. So obviously that one's going to be my favorite Lego store in Toronto. The reason I like Yorkdale, and I haven't been to Fairview in a long time, and I don't know if I've ever been to Sherway. But the reason I like Yorkdale so much is because it's one of the largest Lego store. It is the largest Lego store in the GTA. It is huge. I would say it's almost double the size of Fairview. The back room has got, way bigger as well, has more stock and stuff like that. But for the most part, I like it because it's also one of the less crowded ones. So Fairview is in a very kid-friendly mall. Lots of kids stores. That Lego store is always packed. Again, I haven't been to Sherway in a long time, so I can't even comment. But Yorkdale is in a very upscale, it's a very upscale mall with lots of very expensive stores. A majority of the people we had at Yorkdale were, higher end, higher end income, not a lot of kids and stuff like that. So it was a much quieter store. It obviously got busy on the weekends, but during the week, it was pretty quiet and all higher end clients. So it wasn't too crazy. It didn't even feel like a toy store some of the days. And in terms of that, like they just, because it was such a bigger store and it was quieter, there was more stock all the time. All the newer sets were there. The pick-a-brick wall is huge. Lots of good parts all the time. So I just like Yorkdale. Plus, honestly, the people there were amazing. And I haven't been there in a few years now because of COVID, but the people there when I worked there were amazing. So I loved that location. So I would honestly have to say Yorkdale is my favorite. The next question is from Frederick Dubai. Now that you have more space than ever before, are you planning on significantly expanding your city, perhaps finally adding a train? So I did expand my city a little bit because I do have a lot more space now. And honestly, I'm looking at the city behind the camera, and I could expand it way more. The reason I haven't is because obviously tables. Those tables are custom made at the time of moving here. I didn't really know what size the room was going to be. I hadn't seen it yet. So now I know I could definitely add two more tables and have a giant city. That being said, right now I'm pretty happy with the size of the city, but there is a lot of room for expansion. I did grow it a little when I moved here because the original table that was the smaller, a little bit less, like the height was a bit smaller that I initially had when I moved into my Lego room in 2019. I added that table back to the city. So I took that out in sometime in that time when I switched up the city and I shrunk it a little bit. So now it is there. It's in a bit of a different layout. So I'm going to have basically the city that I last had plus a little bit added table. That being said, I don't think I'm really going to have room to add any trains just because I didn't expand it that much, and trains take up a lot of room. And last time I had the city, it was full, and there was actually buildings and mocks and stuff like that that couldn't fit in the city. So now that I've added a little bit more of a table, so I can have a bigger beach area and some more residential areas, I hope. My plan is to probably still not add trains, but just add more buildings and stuff like that. I would love to add trains in the future, and I think it would be amazing to have like a subway or something like that. But honestly, it's just not in the cards right now. But for the future, we might have to see because it would be something that I would love to add. But yes, the city's definitely getting just a little bit bigger with a lot more room to grow in the future if I need to and if I'm going to stay here for a while. Lightboat Boy 22 asks, Brick, will you start live streaming some of your builds? So that's a great question. Right before I moved into this new space, I actually was experimenting doing a few live streams. You would have seen, I did like one or two just to experiment and dabble around and see how it would go. Eventually, I would love to start live streaming my builds. I think I have a good setup for it, and I think it would be easy and possible to do. I haven't yet just because a lot of the times when I'm doing building, it's in the middle of the night because it's when I'm done work, it's when I'm done school and stuff like that. So I build at night, 2 in the morning. There's not going to be many people on YouTube watching at that time. Because YouTube's not my full-time job, unfortunately, I can't just start live streaming in the middle of the day while I'm working a 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 job ends at the end of August, though, and I will have September through until the next summer to basically have a much more flexible schedule, not tied down to a job 9 to 5. So I hope to do more streaming then. But yeah, right now when I build, it's kind of a therapeutic thing for me. It's just me being quiet, watching TV, maybe on FaceTime with my friends or something like that. Very chill. But yeah, when I start live streaming, it's going to be a little bit different, but it is definitely something that I want to explore and start doing because I think it's a lot of fun and I see people like Brixie doing it and having a great time. Tahab Tahir asks, what app do you use for editing? So I'm assuming you mean editing my videos. I use Final Cut Pro. I'm going to start using iMovie a little bit for some of the more simple projects because I have this computer here that has iMovie and I've got my main MacBook with Final Cut Pro. I only have one Final Cut license, so that's why it's not here as well. But I do want to start editing more videos and making videos more frequently, so things like the news videos where I can just, quickly pull up this laptop, make a video, and upload it. I hope to do that through just iMovie. Any videos like this where there's any audio correction, color correction, things like that, I'll always be using Final Cut. It was a paid software, but honestly has been really worth it for my YouTube channel, and I think helps me achieve the quality that I want to with my videos. Reese Macy asked, this is kind of similar to the last question about live streaming builds, but Reese Macy said, ask Brick, what is the most distracting thing you heard during building? I don't know what you mean, like specifically the most distracting thing I've heard, but I can say one of the most distracting things when I'm building Lego is my cell phone. So when I'm building Lego, like I said, it's a little bit therapeutic. 90% of the time I'm trying to trying to film it so I can do a speed build. So I've got the set here, I've got my camera behind me looking over my shoulder as I build, and my phone is definitely the most distracting thing. Like I'll be building, next thing you know, get a FaceTime. I can't answer it in here because my friends don't know about Lego. So I have to, before I'd have to go to like a hidden part of my room and like answer it with just my forehead looking at the white wall. And I was like, oh, I'm in bed. But now I live here, if somebody FaceTimes me, I just run to the living room and I'm like, yo, what's up? But that's always really distracting because I like to answer the FaceTimes when I get them. Text messages, because if I'm building, I'll just start building and I go for 15-20 minutes before I stop the footage and restart recording, just out of like abundance of caution. So I'll be like building, then I'll get a text and I'll be like, oh, do I stop filming only 3 minutes in, or do I keep going? I'll keep going, then I get more text and I'm behind, and then I have to catch up. Like I can't just glance at my phone because I'm filming it. I don't want you to see my text. So I would say definitely my phone is the most distracting thing building, and then the most distracting thing in terms of Lego is just life and all the other priorities. Like my plan even like 2 nights ago was I was going to chill here and just make this video 2 days ago and film and build and stuff like that, and then my friends called and they're like, hey, we're at a bar close to you, do you want to come out with us? And it's like, oh, yes, because I haven't done anything in so long. So yeah, I would say, friendships and my phone, definitely the most distracting thing when I'm trying to build Lego. Gaming with a Bat says, Asbrick, do you know why your Lego Bloats Float series is doing so much better than your other videos? I honestly have zero clue. I want to do a Between the Bricks video actually talking about my Lego boats and all that good stuff because it's just such an interesting phenomenon for me. I made those videos a few years ago, the first one in 2016, I believe, 2016, 2017. And I was so afraid to make it because that was at the time where I was pretty involved in the YouTube community, and I found that I personally felt that I was getting a lot of hate for the videos I was making because I'm not into Star Wars. I wasn't building the best mocks. Like I was just kind of there doing some content I like, but I was getting lots of hate in the community for whatever reason. And I thought, oh my god, if I do this Will It Float video, I'm going to be upset. People are going to make fun of me. Like whatever. In that video, you can see at the very end, I was like, I don't care if you don't like this video. Like this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to have a good time. And that video changed my life. I would say changed my life. Definitely changed my YouTube career. And I'm going to talk about that in the Between the Bricks. But I don't know why those videos do so much better than my other videos. And I think it's just because it's something unique. When I did the Will It Float series, I don't think anyone at the time had really done that before. Or not that I had seen. Like I wasn't copying somebody. I was genuinely like, let's test it out. And I just think it's something fun. Like Lego boats are cool. Testing Lego boats in the water. When I was a kid, I always played with Lego in the water. Like I actually played with it. Like it was for fun. And now every time I do that video, it's just so popular. Like people love to see it. And that's why I continue to do it. And I'm going to be filming another one very, very shortly because they just do so well and people enjoy them so, so much. But I honestly couldn't tell you why people love the boat videos so much. I honestly don't know, but they're fun for me to film. They're fun for everybody else to watch. And I think it's an interesting time. And that's why I continue to do them. Apprentice Bricks asked, and he asked this question a long time ago, but it's been on my backlog and I've just never answered it. But Apprentice Bricks asked, what's your most annoying TV ad? I can honestly say I don't know. I don't watch TV. I watch a few episodes, but I stream them online most of the time on like one of those apps and stuff like that where I only see like the quick 15-second ads that I can skip. So Apprentice Bricks, I'm sorry, I don't really have an answer for you just because I don't have cable. I don't sit down and watch TV. In terms of most annoying YouTube ad, it's definitely that friggin' learn how to play the piano app. I see those all the time. I am not musically inclined. I don't want to be musically inclined. I never have. Well, I did in the past, but I don't want to. I don't want to do music. And I see those apps all the time. And that specific ad, and it's so annoying, and I've just gotten used to it now, and I skip it every time because I'm like, no, I don't want to learn to play the piano. But no, I don't really watch TV ads, so I can't answer that one. Gaming with a Bat ask Brick, do you plan on doing future giveaways? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do future giveaways. I've done a few. I tried to do a few smaller ones last year just to see. I actually did one, and nobody ever contacted me for the prize, which was kind of a shame. I had people enter, but yeah, my plan is to definitely do some future giveaways. And honestly, I have a little bit of a milestone coming up, probably in a few months. So I'd love to do one big giveaway then, and thank everybody for for 100,000 subscribers if I ever get there. I'm at like 93 right now, so I definitely think it will come in the future. And for that, I'm going to do a big giveaway because that would not have been possible without all of you guys. Alright, and the last question for today's episode is from BrickLover225. Do you have one LEGO set in your collection that you will absolutely not change at all, even if it's in your city? That's a good question, and I was thinking about this because I really still subscribe to the philosophy that Lego's a brick, and the reason that one set is just not one piece, it's thousands of pieces, is because you can build it, change it, modify it, and whatever. I think that's really important for Lego, and I think that's where I got a lot of my enjoyment modifying sets and things like that, especially modular buildings, Lego city sets, all that good stuff. I genuinely believe they're meant to be modified, and I don't think I could ever buy sets knowing that I would never make a modification to them. Sometimes I like having sets that are complete, and my example for this question, and the one set in my collection that I hope and I do never plan on changing, would be the Roman Colosseum, actually. To me, that set and all the architecture sets, especially, like those themes are huge for me, is I would never want to make changes to those sets, mainly because I think they're perfect the way they are, and they're already built to replicate or they're already built to replicate something, a building, things like that. And I think Lego, for the most part, has done really great jobs for those sets, especially with like the Colosseum. What modification can I make to the Colosseum that wouldn't take away from the actual Colosseum? Like, I'm not an expert Lego builder, so maybe some Lego builders would be able to take that set and add new details and things like that to just better enhance the set. For me, that's not really my style. If anything, I would probably add a compartment or something to that, but then it's not the Colosseum anymore. It's something different. So for me, I think the architecture sets, more specifically the Roman Colosseum sets, are ones that I most likely would never make any changes to, just because I think those sets are amazing just the way they are. I've got a bunch of architecture sets right up here, and I can't imagine making any changes to them. But other sets, that is not off the table. And if I think I could make a better set or make a better modification or something like modular buildings, like you saw what I did with the Grand Emporium. I love the exterior of that set, hate the interior. I made my own interior. Like, I think that's what Lego is designed to do. Obviously, I'm not selling all my Lego collection. It's my collection for me. So if I was trying to preserve everything to sell, yeah, obviously I wouldn't make modifications. But because it's like that, I don't think I ever would, and it really just depends on the set. Like, if it's a little modification versus destroying a whole set, I'd rather get a second copy of the set so I can do my own set as well as have the one built. But that's just me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe. If you do have more questions for my future Ask Brick episodes, please leave them down in the comments below. I had lots of fun answering them this week, and I hope to have another episode in 2 weeks again and continue to do these bi-weekly Ask Brick episodes. So please leave me some questions so I can answer them for my next episode. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you here in the next episode.